Now, we all love sports movies. It's my favorite type of movie, that and mysteries or World War II movies. So it's in the area of my favorite.
So you love them all?
Yeah.
Well,
you just like movies.
I don't like scary movies.
Oh.
I don't want to pay to get scared. I go outside all the time anyway. So
You get scared when you go outside?
yeah, I'm like Howie from Benchwarmers.
Well, how do you feel about the moon?
Not a fan.
Okay.
So we thought we'd come together. All right, we're making lists, checking it twice, Santa Claus style, and come up with our greatest fictional characters from sports movies. All right, and the bag's all over the place here. All right, there's a lot of great sports movies from a lot of different eras. So we thought we'd each do our top 3. So I'll start it off with number 3. All right, and this is a guy that I thought was real for a long time. I'm going to be honest with you as a kid.
I know this.
It's Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Oh, Rocky.
I thought legitimately Rocky Balboa was a real boxer.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
For like till I was like 13 years old.
Wait, hold on. He wasn't real?
I know.
Wait,
I know.
I thought Rocky was based off Rocky.
Yeah, I thought Sylvester Stallone was really out there boxing people in Philadelphia all the
This is
time.
news to me.
I know Vince Papali's real from Invincible, but Rocky Balboa, I mean, you think about boxing. I think about Rocky Balboa before I think about any real boxers. So in reality, is Rocky Balboa boxing? And the character's great. I mean, he's great. Sylvester Stallone.
Walking always comes out when you do.
Well, it's hard not to do walking with Sylvester
you were
Stallone.
Christopher Walken right there. I would have loved to see Christopher Walken in the boxing ring. That'd have been hilarious.
You see that?
No, Christopher Walken's great and everything, but Rocky has to be the
soldering
most iconic boxing movie, right? It's not even close.
Is Rocky 1 your favorite Rocky movie, or
Rocky?
when does Apollo Creed? Is Apollo Creed in the
Apollo's first.
Or the first.
Apollo's first, and then Drago's second, right?
Is that right, what it is?
He fights that big Russian.
I know y'all are older than me. Figure it out.
Yeah, it's no.
This is going back a
I
ways.
like them all equally, and some people will hate that. But no, I do like Rocky. I got to work on my Adrian. That's a little bit better.
there. Keep
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm
working
getting
there.
there.
You're getting there.
All right, number 2. Okay, from my favorite golf movie ever. All right, the movie's called Happy Gilmore, but the fictional character I'm going with is not Happy Gilmore. It's the enemy.
Shooter.
Shooter McGavin. One of the greatest villains in all of cinematic history.
True. That is
Going
true.
through all of the times, including Thanos and the other ones. When it comes down to it, Shooter McGavin was the guy that was trying to keep golf uncool, but he was also cool, though. Like, you hated him, but you also loved him. I know people say, oh, to hate something, you have to love it. But when it came down to Shooter, I think Shooter made that movie as much as anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Happy Gilmore's a hilarious story, hockey player that wants to become a golfer to save his grandmother's house. But just thinking about all the dreams he had with Shooter McGavin in it, and just, you know, with the beach ball, when he's like, this is golf!
People, this is golf! Not a rock concert!
Or whatever. There's so many great moments throughout the whole movie. And again, I don't know what other movies that actor was in, but he will forever be Shooter McGavin. Shooter McGavin's got to be in anybody's top 5, right?
Shooter.
Yeah.
Shoot on that, baby! Boom!
Exactly. Shooter, got to be.
Look, the thing about it is, like, you don't have to be in another movie after that performance.
No.
I mean,
That's like being in Game of Thrones.
I'd
It's
rather
a good
you
Twitter
not.
follow, too.
Oh, for sure. Been following him on Twitter, yeah.
But number 1, and this is a runaway train for me, because it's the main character of my favorite movie. Guy you've probably heard of, down there in the bayou. Started out as the water boy of the University of Louisiana until he got fired and went over to SCLSU.
I heard he's a cheater.
South Central Louisiana State University.
Yes, he did.
The Mud Dogs. I'm talking about Bobby Boucher, the greatest middle linebacker in the history of college football. This guy took over games. Hell, I watched him beat Iowa by himself.
He did.
He even threw a pass at the end. I mean, they were over there handing out hot dog water to drink. He goes over there, fixes the water, and becomes one of the greatest players of all time. All while hiding it from his mother, who he lived with their pet jackass Steve.
Hey, Roy Orbison.
And he rode a lawnmower.
Mama don't know.
He rode a lawnmower
Did they
back
ever
and forth.
catch that gorilla?
No,
What,
the Escape from the Zoo. Punch you in the eye.
Search continues, Mama.
No, Adam Sandler's greatest movie, greatest character. It's Bobby Boucher.
Hello, my name is Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher, man, he made Michigan try out the towel boy.
Hey.
How do you think I got a scholarship?
Hey, yeah.
That's
Hey.
why they gave me a try.
Hey, you
man.
remember the time? Hey, you remember the time Bobby showed up at halftime of the
Mud Dogs?
the
Yeah.
Bourbon Bowl, and
Won the
Mud
Bourbon
Mud
Bowl.
Dogs came back and won the Bourbon Bowl, huh? Do you?
Hey, come inside and let mama brush your hair.
That's exactly right. So those are my 3, gentlemen. Bobby Boucher is number
that's
1.
Way to bring
That's
the
solid.
fire. Bobby Boucher may be the most dominant.
For sure.
Like, the most dominant fictional athlete of all
Like
time.
Lee Corso said, you can really see the pain in his eyes.
That's tough to follow. But my top 3 fictional athletes, I'm going to start at number 1, Roy Hobbs from The Natural. From my favorite film, Roy Hobbs. What's not to love, first of all? It's just a great movie. Now, I can't speak to the book as much. The book ending is different, but from the film standpoint, Roy Hobbs in The Natural. You want to talk about Shohei Ohtani before Shohei? Don't forget, this guy was headed to the majors as a pitcher. Remember the scene when he strikes out Whammer on 3 straight pitches? And Whammer looks an awful lot like Babe Ruth.
He really does.
A lot of similarities there. Yeah. Strikes out the Whammer on 3 straight pitches. He gets shot. Doesn't make it to the majors for 14, 15 more years after that. We don't know what happened to Roy Hobbs in the interim, but he's hitting. He's got his bat, Wonder Boy, carved from the tree that was struck down by lightning when his father died. He has the Wonder Boy bat, just like that one right there behind Blaine Crane over there. All right?
From the same tree.
He's hitting tanks. He's hitting tanks, okay? Yeah. Now, he only got that one season, and he wasn't starting at the very beginning of the year. I think he got his first start around Memorial Day. I'm trying to piece this stuff together through some of the newspapers that they showed.
Got hot.
Yeah, in the sequence there. But he probably hit over 40 home runs in something like, I don't know, 100 games, something like that, over 100 RBIs. They never say this stuff in the movie, but I'm just trying to think, how great was the season that he had? And he wasn't even supposed to be a hitter. He was supposed to be a pitcher in the major leagues. So
yeah, it's a fantastic movie. One of Robert Redford's best performances.
So I'll tell you a quick Robert Redford story here. You guys know when I was 12 years old, Robert Redford was directing The Legend of Bagger Vance in Savannah. Well, we were growing up in Statesboro. My dad took me to be a background extra in that golf movie, The Legend of Bagger Vance.
As a tree?
Not as a tree. That's disrespectful.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Both of you with height history.
I thought it was a tree that got hit by lightning.
No.
That turned you into
David
a bat.
was the tree.
Yeah.
But I did have on the knickers and the pappy cap, and I was a background extra.
Okay, nice.
You know
what
I mean?
Nice.
Okay.
Close one.
But when we weren't filming, the kids we'd go play. Matt Damon was there, Will Smith. As long as you weren't like getting
Matt
in, like
Damon,
they
Will
would all
Smith,
have
and
these
Robert
different
Redford.
pranks and
What was
stuff.
that, like the Disney Channel?
Yeah, hold on.
Club,
Were you in the
all
Mickey Mouse
famous-
Club?
As long as you
Were you
did,
in
you
Mickey
went
Mouse
to your
Club?
tutor sessions first.
Yeah, there you go.
One day we're just throwing a baseball. I was doing this for 2 weeks, so like it seemed like a lot longer than it actually was. But for one of those days, we were throwing a baseball. None of us had any gloves, but we had a baseball on the golf course down there at Kiowa in South Carolina. And the baseball, it got away from us or whatever, and I was about to run after it. All of a sudden, a golf cart whips around, and it's Robert Redford. And my dad probably showed me The Natural right around maybe a year before, maybe a couple months before we were working on this movie. So it was fresh in my mind. I had just seen it as a 12-year-old, and I thought, man, that's the director. That's Robert Redford. We're about to get in so much trouble. I didn't know what we were allowed to do or not do. He whips around the golf cart. He's driving, so he picks the baseball up with his left hand, and he flings it at me. And I didn't have any gloves, so I just dropped it. And I looked up, and I said, Roy Hobbs, The Natural. And he smiled in only a way that Robert Redford could
you had a
smile.
moment with Robert Redford?
I did not say he touched me on the shoulder. I said we had a moment.
No,
Okay?
that's fantastic.
One of the other actors, like Bruce McGill or somebody, one of the the other actors in the film, like went and told my dad. He's like, "You won't believe what your son just said to Robert Redford." It was incredible.
That's wild.
So one of the cooler moments, I will say. But Roy Hobbs, I just love that movie, and he's probably one of the greatest athletes of all time. I'll move to number 2 on my list quickly. Ernie McCracken from Kingpin,
Yes.
I mean,
Big Earn.
Big Earn. A comb over for the ages. Good luck beating that comb over.
His hair, man.
Rivaled in arrogance only by your boy Shooter McGavin, but you know why I went with Big Earn? Because he won. He won. Not only did he win the tournament at the end, okay, he won the 1979 Odor Eaters tournament when he beat Roy Munson.
Right, yeah.
The guy is just a champion.
Nobody's been that excited about somebody winning a bowling tournament since Rick Kenmore won the Dr. Scholl's Invitational.
Who's the man of the day? I am. You guessed it.
You can't beat Big Earn. No one likes him, but you can't beat him, man.
No.
He just bowls strikes. And while we're talking about bowling, my third one, I was going to go between Mr. Miyagi and Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski. And you know what? I have to go Walter Sobchak, and you may be saying, that's not even a sports movie, much less a fictional or a sports character. How do you think they rolled their way into the semis? I know Donnie got hot,
That's exactly
but we never even saw the dude roll a frame in the whole movie. Walter Sobchak is there making sure other guys don't go over to the line. Did he have to flash his piece out on the lane a couple times to make sure it happened? Yeah, but you're gonna follow the rules. And as long as they don't post the semis on the Sabbath, all right, because Walter doesn't roll on the Shabbos, then we're not gonna have any problems here. And they're gonna get to the finals.
Yeah,
A
over
lot
the
of
line.
bowling for you.
Huh?
Yeah, a lot. I'm loving the bowling reference.
Yeah.
You know what got me going on bowling? Jake's talking about he averages 260.
He doesn't average 260, but he's a weirdly good bowler.
Why is it weird though? He's just a good bowler.
No, it's just like so unexpected.
You kind of have on the bowling shirt.
I've told them many times. All right, I want this thing to be burned, burned in front of me.
In front of you?
Yeah,
like
Skip
LeBron
Bayless with the
jersey?
Jersey, yeah.
So that's my
Those
my
are
top
good. That's a good
three.
job.
Those are good, Dave. All right, I'm gonna go start with 3 here. All right, this is a feel-good story. All right, it's about a guy take care of the kids in an orphanage. It's the cook. He cooks for him, and his dream he's always wanted to be was a wrestler. And it's Nacho Libre.
Nacho!
Believe in science. Go back to my
believe
favorite
in
part of this
science.
was a man who had to climb to a mountaintop, eat an eagle's egg, then become the eagle.
Mm-hmm.
He did that early in the movie, and lo and behold, he wasn't allowed to wrestle in the orphanage. He wasn't allowed to.
No.
It was frowned upon.
No.
All right, but he went behind closed doors and got it done and became one of the best wrestlers ever to live.
My favorite character is the little fat kid in that movie.
Yeah, what's his name?
Is it Pancho?
Poncho.
Or something like that?
Something like that. It's up that alley, but dude, I'm telling you, like
That's a great movie.
I laughed that entire movie.
My fiance can't stand it, which, I'm trying to work on to make her better.
Nacho Libre?
I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
all of it. I haven't seen it in so long.
I can remember it. I mean, I can remember when he meets old dude who's eating the chips out in the street and he gets that corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He believes in science.
He believes in science.
Stay home.
So Randy the Ram Robinson from The Wrestler versus Nacho Libre.
Nacho Libre is not close.
Nacho Libre?
Yeah, I'm
it's
going
old.
Nacho.
old.
He got it straight out the mud.
Number 2 on my list. Kind of brought it up earlier. But give me a Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
Till this day.
Understood.
Till this day, I'm on the back 9, 13th hole, maybe 8 or 9 sodas deep. I'm Happy Gilmore in at least one on the course, right?
Is it really around if you don't try and Happy Gilmore at least
That's what
one?
I'm saying.
You remember Uncle, I'm not going to say his name, but one of our uncles that we go play golf with, who's legitimately like 50 years old or something,
Mhm.
he would do Happy Gilmore on the 18th green, and I'll never forget one time he did it and like pulled a muscle in his back.
Oh,
Bro, I
carry him
about had a heart attack.
better carry him off.
I legitimately had a heart attack.
Did, really? He was that
Pretty
hurt?
much. Oh yeah, he was. Well, it's just like he thought it was so cool. We're grown, so like, it's cool, but not as cool as what he thought it was. That we thought when we were 12 years old. So what? Now, man, he got hurt.
Man, I bet course pros around the country just hated when that movie came out.
Oh.
I bet everybody on the driving range was just, we were that age, right? But
Yeah.
there's no telling, like, these course pros around the
I
country.
wonder if any pros like looked at it and were like, maybe my
Maybe.
career's
Bryson
kinda
DeChambeau?
flailed.
That's one of the shots with Shooter McGavin, right? He's like looking around.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly
well, I'll
right.
give it a try,
That's
you know?
exactly right. You never know until you try
He's
it out.
driving par 5s
Yeah.
to the green.
Sound like a RPG coming off the tee.
But Happy Gilmore would be for sure in the Live Tour. Hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Hands down. He has Live Tour
He'd
written
be the
all
face of the Live Tour.
Yeah.
They'd have paid him $300 billion to be on the Live Tour.
Yeah.
Shooter, that's why
The,
Shooter
the
was so good.
trophy the trophy you win would be the Happy Gilmore Live
Yeah,
trophy.
I think
Exactly
so too. Number 1, it's my favorite right here. Kenny Powers.
If there's one thing I hate, it's losing. If there's 2 things I hate, it's losing and getting cancer.
Oh, that's a
See, I
Eastbound-
should have
Eastbound and Down.
that's a good one.
Eastbound and Down's my favorite show. Like, I was thinking more movie.
Fictional character though.
Yeah, fictional character. He's right. He's right.
Look, fight the power. Don't do drugs unless you're doing it with me.
Yeah, Kenny Powers, man. One of the greatest, forget sports movie shows or whatever. Kenny Powers is one of the greatest characters of all time. And they're coming out with a new season of Eastbound and Down.
Heard that.
And I am so jacked and tan about it. I'm just unbelievably excited.
But you're not trying to be the best at exercising.
No, I'm not.
I play real sports, not trying to be the best at exercising.
Guys, there's one alternative that we haven't discussed here. And that's Rudy.
Get out
And
of
before
here.
you say, hold on.
No.
Before you say, Jake, I thought you said fictional.
He was real.
Man, that didn't really happen.
He was really
That didn't
offside.
really happen. He's really
He was way
offside.
offside.
Yeah, I feel like the Rudy thing's way overblown. They made this dude. It's one thing to act like you're a prince in a movie. All right, just a random prince. It's another thing to think you're Aladdin, man. Like you're not Aladdin. You were offsides. You never got that sack. I don't believe it.
Left tackle through the bag.
Through the bag,
Through the
for
bag on
sure,
purpose.
through the bag.
First of all, no one's going to hear some one guy on the sidelines start chanting a name, and the next thing you know, the whole crowd.
Yeah. No,
It's not
never
gonna happen
happened.
unless he has a megaphone.
Believe. You got to believe.
It never happened. What actually happened in real life is
believe.
they snapped the ball, and even though Rudy was offside, the left tackle grabbed him
Yeah.
with one hand and threw him just off the side like a
The crazy
child.
thing about it, Dave, is
Like Black Adam
you
threw that
can
one
believe.
guy.
You can believe 100%. And sometimes it don't matter how much you believe.
Yeah.
It just don't work.
Physics.
It just doesn't work.
There's a lot
buddy.
of guys that have believed.
Yeah.
But do you think the Rudy story is real? Make sure you subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and hit that like button. We appreciate it.